here at my local park. I'm taking a walk in the park and here to say hi. In this beautiful weather, I have some time off and I'm just here to show you the environment in my local park, how absolutely beautiful this place is. If you don't see my face, it's because I'm going to turn round and show you the environment. This is my local park and it is absolutely stunning. Let me give you a show round of this River Darren. I don't know if you can see. That's the River Darren, part of it running along. And it may be a silent vlog, or it may be that even we'll have a chat. But yeah, this is Darren Valley. The river running, that is. And you can hear the birds. It's absolutely beautiful. Sometimes when I'm not able to motivate myself to do the things that I need to do in the house, I take a walk first. So after I have my breakfast, I'll just come out, take a walk here. If it's a nice day, that there may be some interruptions. I do apologize. Some interruptions. I do apologize. Let's show you. This is my very first live stream. Well, probably not. Actually, I think I did one yesterday. It was a silent one. So this is it. It's Dartford Park. It's Dartford Park, our local park. And it took me some time. Say hi when you're there. It took me some time. Hi. It took me some time to find out parts of this park and the whole beauty of it. That taught me how I wasn't as adventurous. But there's very beautiful parts to this park that will absolutely astonish. Will actually really surprise anybody. This is just part of it, only just a fraction of it. There we are. And I'm going to go further to the area where the lake runs as well, where we can see part of the lake. Hi, say hi if you're there. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from. I'm taking you along to our park. For some of you that have just joined, I'm in the park, local park, beautiful day. I was thinking about the recent policy that the government brought or is bringing into effect. This is the one to do with the fact that they looked at the data and they saw that Nigerians, Sri Lankans, and Pakistanis were topping the list of people who were more likely to actually apply for asylum in the United Kingdom. I'll show you the park here. And because of that fact, they decided that they were going to disable the ability for those people from those groups to actually apply for asylum here in the UK, making it a lot harder that if people whose visas were not
if people whose visas had expired, had not reapplied or had not left the country, and then went on to reapply for asylum in those groups of people that I just mentioned, that is Sri Lankans, Nigerians, Pakistanis, that it was more likely that those people would actually not go back to their countries and actually just stay, that they were going to now make it harder for those people to actually seek asylum. So I'm wondering what is actually pushing that for the UK government to actually look at that. Are they saying that those groups of people are more likely to abscond and not go back to the country? Or are they just finding excuses for those, so that those groups of people do not apply, or they make it harder for those groups of people to actually apply? I wonder. So this leaves a question to actually be answered. What's going to happen to people in those groups that actually the asylum, their visa ends? I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted by the environment. I'm trying to show the environment at the same time I'm trying, and the connection will go off potentially. But let me just turn around and show you the environment. Maybe then I can focus on what I'm saying a bit more. Just a second. So there we are. That's part of the Dartford Valley River running through the park. That's another. The beauty of this Dartford Valley. There we are. Yeah, so it's going to leave a lot of people that I believe already in the country kind of stranded, because where somebody's visa is coming to an end or has ended, they have to do something very quickly. And then of course, the costs for reapplying for some of these visas have increased. I did a video on this, and the costs have increased for some of those visas as well. Now, if you're a family, you've got perhaps you yourself, your wife, your children, and then you've got to pay the NHS charges as well as actually reapply for your visa. And the government are saying that, and people cannot find the money to actually apply on time before their visa ends. I think that's part of what is driving people to go for asylum. Because if you think about it, if you don't have the money to reapply for your visa, when the time comes, when it's about to expire, aren't you perhaps going to be tempted to put yourself to apply for asylum? At least that way, I think what's happening is people might be thinking that I'm going to buy time in the UK. I'm going to get extra time. Therefore, I'm going to put myself on that specific asylum application. Meanwhile, they will give you something to live on. It won't be much at all. Trust me. Asylum seekers are not having an easy time in the UK at all. It's nothing. But there are people who would rather stay in the UK on asylum than actually go back to their countries. So that's one of the things I think that's the government has noticed. They know, and they will do anything to actually bring immigration down to zero. Reform UK. I've said it several times. Their target is to bring migration to zero. This is now the same case with Labour, as well as the Conservatives, the Tories. Moving on from that, you now have the 10-year visa rule. This is under consideration, and it's the white paper. I believe it's come out, or it's about to come out, that anybody, I think it begins with people who are already in the UK. I was going through a tunnel. It's up and down because I'm outside. So here we are. Here is part of where the river runs down into. I don't know what to call that, but it goes down from there. And it goes all the way back from where we started towards that way and then further afield as well. So the 10-year visa policy or rule that will come up will now see people waiting for 10 years to indefinite leave to remain or their British citizenship. This is quite catastrophic, or is a word that is too extreme, but this is quite an impact on immigrants. Because like I said before, now people have to pay more to wait for all those years. If somebody has decided they're going to wait in the UK for 10 years, 5 years, an extra 5 years, an extra 6, 7 or 8 years, it's going to cost quite a lot just for them to remain in the UK alone. It's going to cost a lot just to keep the charges that come with applying for a visa. Is going to be really, really costly. And so people have to, I suppose, everybody has to weigh out what they're actually prepared to pay for to remain in the UK. Is it worth one's while to continue paying all those amounts to reach the 10-year target and then to apply for an ILR or British citizenship that there's no guarantee for at all, as a matter of fact? I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't know whether you're in the UK. I don't know what the situation is, but I'm speaking to people who are either in the UK already or haven't got the ILR or the British citizenship or either, or are planning to come to the UK. This is now what people are facing. And because the cost of living is also on the increase and quite high, is that in itself is going to make it quite challenging for people to keep trying to maintain a visa, to renew a visa, waiting and targeting the 10-year time when they can make their stay more permanently. So here we are again. This is also the River Darren here in my locality, and I don't know whether you can see the ducks or the the ducks from where I am. It's relatively far from where I am. So this is the absolutely stunning beauty of this part of my area. I'm going to walk and see if I can get closer to the ducks. This live is very, very casual, guys. Anybody that's here watching, there's no fishing here. It says there's no fishing, but there's a part where people actually fish in this river. I wish I brought some bread now for the ducks. Old bread. Never mind. So here they are. I'm coming to catch up with them, and they follow people around. When they see that somebody's around, they actually do follow. They try to come nearer. I don't know whether these ones will. There we are. They're coming along. So as you can see, very beautiful. There is a willow tree bending right over into the lake. There we are, look. And then gradually covering part of the lake. And then there's another type of bird here as well, two of them. Yeah, hi there. I'm in the UK. Hi there. I'm in the UK. I'm a Ugandan here in the UK. Yeah. Let's keep walking. I've not taken this route before. This is slightly new route than I've taken before. Usually I used to go all the way around to the other side. But like I said, there's always something new in this locality. Thank you for joining me in this vlog. It's a very casual vlog. A walk around my local park. You're just joining. I'm just taking a walk and I thought I'd show you the beauty of my locality. I think we are ready. Here's another very beautiful part of the lake. Here is where people actually come to fish. So if you're in the locality and you're somebody who likes to fish, here is where you come this way, you step down, and you can actually fish here. You're allowed to use 2 rods. No fishing on A2 Lake when boats are on the water, and all rods must be reeled in. This includes baiting up and use of mackerel rods. So there are fish here, because definitely I've seen people fishing from this side of the lake. I'm not sure what type of fish it is, but yeah. Let's see if we can see any fish at all. Earlier on I was at this area. There's a place here where you can fish, and the internet keeps going on and off, so I'm really distracted. I'm sorry about that. But at least we are getting to see the environment and the beauty. You can't see any fish there. I don't know if they come all the way there. Here's another part of the lake. And on the other side, they have, I believe that is the place where they hold some boats and perhaps where they keep some of the equipment or floaters and so forth. All this is in my locality here in the UK, because we always show you a lot of shopping malls, shopping and so forth. So I just thought that I'd take a walk and show my watchers the beauty of this area. Thank you so much for those who had tuned in to watch, even though it kept going on and off. I might not be able to keep live because of the fluctuation of the internet, but at least we've seen the beauty of this environment. Oh, look, here are some of the geese. They are looking out for bread. They are looking out for bread, but I don't have any. Look at that. Very beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it's quite sad because sometimes in this locality, the sad part of it is that some of these birds, there's usually geese as well, I haven't seen them yet, have actually been attacked by some youths in the locality and been killed. That is quite, that is a no-no here in the UK. Attacking animals is not something that is tolerated. So it's quite unfortunate that that has been known to happen. But this is an absolute beauty.